What's up, guys, and welcome back to Homie Checkpoint. You feeling okay, bro? This is the segment, the gray area, where we like to talk about what's on our minds. And you know how that disclaimer shit goes. We're not professionals. We're not trying to be. So if you do need professional help, seek it out. And if you're not too comfortable with that, we will have some sources linked below if you feel more comfortable with that.
Yeah, guys, so like last time, this segment ain't intended to be like funny or nothing like that. We might have a couple jokes like here and there, but for most part, this is just like stuff that we're like passionate about. We're talking about like mental health, like stuff that bothers us, stuff we all deal with in our daily lives. Same deal as last week, but it ain't supposed to be funny, bro, so be serious.
Today we want to talk about competition and dealing with competitive environments and our personal experience with them.
Yeah, so like we really want to focus on how to deal with a competitive environment in a healthy way. Like what do I do if I run into a sore loser, or like what exactly am I supposed to do to prep for a big tournament the next day? All that kinds of stuff. We really are trying to get you guys like prepped for whatever kind of hobby you're into and how to take it to like that next level.
So we're gonna start off. We're gonna get this out of the way. We all like to win. No one really likes losing. I mean, maybe if they're weird, they do. But something you're going to have to learn very early on in competition is losing is a part of it.
Yeah, so I promise you that the game is a lot more fun if you accept that losing is not only a possibility, but it's also likely. Not everybody wins every single time, and it's just a fact of life, bro.
And if you've ever gone to a big tournament or you've hyped yourself up for a game, you definitely know what we're talking about.
Yeah, so like the thing is we all know we're supposed to get plenty of rest, or we're supposed to get a good breakfast. You've all heard that crap before if you're serious about whatever kind of hobby you do. What we're more so going to talk about, at least for like this video, is like the toxicity that can surround these kinds of communities.
And nothing can take you out of your groove or ruin your mood faster than a sore loser.
We all know that like a person like this, and if you're that person, bro, you can do it, bro. Be better. I'm urging you.
So you're probably thinking, well, how do you deal with this type of person? Well, in our previous segment of the gray area, I talked about a friend of ours, a former friend of ours. And we both played a game. We both played Smash.
Yeah, so like if you like me and you don't give a fuck about that shit, that's Super Smash Brothers. I think it's stupid, but whatever.
That's fair. Like, fighting games aren't everyone's cup of tea. And yeah, when we would play, me and this friend of ours, every time he would beat me, he'd be like, "You're trash, bro. You suck ass." And I'd be like, "Okay, man, let's move on to the next game." And to be fair to him, I wasn't like that all the time. I had my moments where I got frustrated with stupid shit, and that happens when you play fighting games. But that's generally how I would deal with like losing. And well, when we would turn around on that next game and I'd whoop him, now suddenly there's a problem. He'd be complaining and just saying, "I was like, man, all you do is spam the same move over and over again." And that's like, well, he's like chalking. It feels like at that point he's chalking up my like near 2,000 hours into this game to all I've learned in that time is I use the same move over and over again. And there's a lot more that goes into it than that, and I'm not going to talk about that here. But one thing because I don't want to get too far into it, is how I should have dealt with it. And well, what I should have done is, okay, man, we've been playing this for a little bit. It's starting to get unfun for the both of us. Maybe we should both take a step back and like calm down. And you're probably thinking, well, wouldn't that just make him get upset again when we started playing? And you're right. That almost certainly would have happened. So what I should have done is I should have sat him down and I said, "Hey, man, I understand. We've both put a lot of time into this game. But at the end of the day, it's just a game. Yeah, like you shouldn't be getting this upset this consistently like over a game." And to explain into further detail is, to some of the bigger tournaments I've gone to, I've played against pros, and hell, I've actually even taken a few games off of some of them. And generally how they would handle loss is, you'll be like, okay, man, yeah, it's a good game. Like, they'd either be surprised, and they're not expecting someone this low in bracket to actually be able to take a game, or like, oh man, it's a good game, and move on to the next. They're already thinking about, well, why did I lose? How can I prevent that from happening again? And they proceed to beat my ass like across the stage than like the rest of the match. And I mean, that's generally how pros handle their losses.
Yeah, so like reinforcing that idea, I played my fair share of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, yeah, it's time to duel. Y'all know how I do. So I've faced my fair share of pros too, and when I would beat them, they, like, oftentimes before I could even deal the finishing blow, they've already scooted with their cards and they're siding into for the next game. And you can think about that like, oh god, he's trying to psych me out. Like he didn't even let me do the last blow. Chill, homie. Take off the tinfoil hat for a second. What they're really doing is they've seen their mistake, or they've seen the play you just made, and they're like, okay, I lost. I can't let that happen again. What can I do to prevent that? That's their thought process. They're already gearing up for what their next move is going to be, and they just take the loss in strides, which is a great way. That's a great mindset to have. Just keep moving forward. You can't win every single time, so when you do lose, just keep going, bro.
And we're going to go further into detail and explain how to be competitive in a healthy way and just why it's so important. And hey, man, if you've got a friend or someone you care about who is struggling with being competitive in a healthy way, then sit them down and talk to them, or hell, even show them this video.
Please show me video. We need the views.
So, as Josh said, our friend group, we used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And to be fair to them, I wasn't as into it as they were, but I still had fun. I would still be there for, when we would play test for hours on hours.
And, I'm going to contradict myself for a minute. Like, earlier I was talking about all that breakfast crap, but there's truth to it, bro. So, like, before these big tournaments, I would stay up all night with all the homies in our little test group, and we would just be like, oh god, like, well, what do I do if this happens, or what do I do if this happens, like stressing over it. And then come the next day, we either stayed up all night so we were tired as fuck, or we stayed up, got a little bit of sleep, slept through breakfast, and now we're still tired, we didn't get no food, we're groggy, our heads are clouded, now we're making stupid mistakes. Now, the reason it's important for you to prepare yourself physically for a big event, and it doesn't matter if it's a card tournament, a video game tournament, a big game if you're into sports, you need to be prepared physically, because your mind and your body work together. If you take the time to rest and take the time to get a good meal in, your body's going to be prepared, you're going to be thinking clearer, all that kind of stuff, homie. I promise you it's worth it, because if I compare my tournament performance to when I was well rested versus not, I definitely performed far better when I did take that time to get the rest and eat the food beforehand. Now, it's not only important to be prepared physically, but you should also be prepared mentally. Like, a lot of times before a tournament, a game, whatever, we'll get hit with this pre-tournament anxiety. Or hell, maybe sometimes you'll even hit in the middle of a match. Like, all of a sudden you got all this weight on your head because it's like, oh god, like, I'm not good enough, or like I made a stupid choice, or all that crap. But like we said earlier, it's just a game, homie. Like, it's not the end of the world. You just need to take whatever mistake you made, or even if you are worried about going to make a mistake, just take it in strides, dude. Like we have said this whole video, you're not going to win every single time. Eventually, all of us meets a bigger, badder dog. That's just a fact of life.
Hey man, or hey, maybe a herd of cars just went with you this time.
Also true. So, what should you expect going into these events? Well, the worst thing you should have to deal with all day, realistically, is just someone who's a little salty. Now, I know it's like, yo, you just said all this shit about sore losers. There's a difference, trust me. We all get aggravated or bitter or annoyed when things don't go our way. That's just how it is. The difference is how you show that on your face, or how you communicate with people about how aggravated you are. So if you meet with this person who's just all rumbly and grumbly because things didn't go their way or whatever, just move on with your day, bro. You got bigger, better things to worry about than somebody who's pissed off because they didn't draw the right card or because they made the wrong play. Now, I will say, if you feel threatened at all, from someone, this has happened. I've seen it myself. If you ever feel threatened, you need to let someone know, like to alert a judge, a tournament organizer, the owner, hell, the owner of the building. They will be more than happy to remove this person who is making you feel threatened. And like, if it's bothering you, it's probably bothering other people. You'll be doing everybody a service if you speak up. I promise you.
Well, looks like that's going to do it for this video, guys. And hey, if you want us to talk about a specific topic or, something of that nature, please reach out to us. Give us your suggestions. We'll have all of our social medias linked below. And, eventually, hey, man, we want to pay the bills doing this kind of stuff. So please like and subscribe. And I promise exactly one smooch to all who do so.
We'll catch you homies later. Peace.